A very good evening. Thanks for joining us on News Tonight. My name is Kweku Temenwa. Tonight we have all the stories, calling of strikes, amongst others. Before I fill you in with the details, let's take snippets of our top stories tonight. President Akufo-Addo urges medical doctors to accept postings into rural communities in the 6 newly created regions. Tonight we'll bring you some updates on the induction of some medical practitioners in the country. Also coming up in tonight's bulletin, Ghana Agricultural Producers and Marketers Association advocates passage of the proposed cooperative bill to facilitate the development of viable agricultural cooperative societies in the country. In business, Cocoa Board signs a $1.5 billion cocoa syndicated loan agreement with 24 French banks after receiving parliamentary approval. And on the international front, hundreds of people have protested at the Johannesburg stock demanding listed companies to do more to end gender-based violence in South Africa. All right, so thank you very much for joining us tonight. You can stay interactive with us on all our social media platforms tonight. Let's start with something on education, as the National Association of Graduate Teachers, that's NAGRAT, has called off its over the phone lines is Harriet Annan. She is the Public Relations Officer at NAGRAT. Harriet, many thanks for joining us. Just before I bring you in, kindly hold on a minute because I have a statement from NAGRAT and I would want to share with my viewers shortly. So we've received a statement from NAGRAT and we've posted it on our screens right at home. You who are watching, you can see it right on the screens, but I'll take snippets of it for you. Now, the leadership of the National Association of Graduate Teachers, that's NAGRAT, would like to announce to all teachers and the general public that from today, 13th September 2019, it has called off its strike. Well, we thank the Minister of Education, the Minister of Employment and Labor Relations, the National Labor Commission, and the Ghana Education Service for their intervention to address the challenges that necessitated the industrial action. It goes on to say, we applaud all teachers for their steadfastness in standing for what is right. Long live NAGRAT, solidarity forever, and it's signed by the various executives. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Harriet Annan. She is the Public Relations Officer of NAGRAT. We're sincerely grateful for your time. So let me find out from you. Early on, the Labour Commission was on you, pressing that NAGRAT should go back to the classrooms. Executives declined. So what finally paved the way for you to go back to the classroom? All right, so I'm trying to engage Harriet Annan here. She is the PRO of NAGRAT. Well, they've called off their strike action, urging all teachers to go back to the classrooms. I'm trying to raise her on the line to give me some of the reasons why they have decided to go back to the classroom, and also urge all teachers to respond to this new call. Harriet, many thanks for joining us. If you can hear me, I just want to find out, first of all, what paved the way for teachers to agree to go back to the classroom.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you share with us why?
Please increase your distance a little.
Okay, I'll do so. I'll try to raise my tone a little bit. So, Harriet, I want you to share with us reasons why you finally decided that let's call the strike off, let's go back to the classroom.
Okay, initially we raised a whole lot of issues. And we said that we want the government to give us attention. So they have started the engagement and they are responding to it. So that is how come we have called off the strike.
Of course, asking this question was deliberate because, yes, HR systems and the like was a major challenge. I don't know if there were some arrears and financial issues that also came in. And really, were you able to settle everything with the Labour Commission as they pressed you to go back to the classroom, calling your strike action illegal? So were all the conditions met before you decided to go back?
No, not all conditions are met as I speak. But the bottom line of the whole strike action was the system, the human resource management system. This system brought about a whole lot of these issues that we have raised earlier on. So having come back for a whole president of Ghana to give us hearing and having come back to tell us that we should revert to the old system, which is the IPPD2, which is going to solve all these issues that we have raised. I think it's a point in the right direction.
Your critics have said that this was a right move to twist the arm of government. Of course, you could have deliberated further. There was no need to punish students by staying out of the classroom. Indeed, what the Labour Commission was calling for was for you to negotiate with all stakeholders and not necessarily embark on a strike action. Do you think this strike action...
Negotiations, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Negotiations have been going on since time immemorial. But for the president himself to give us such assurance, was it not the president? We wouldn't have listened to anyone, even though we were engaging the Labour Commission. We had the first sitting with them, and Monday is the second one. So for a whole president to come in to tell us, give us this assurance that we should go, and that the very challenge that we were worried about is going to be eradicated. Why not?
For somebody who is just joining this conversation, probably has been out of the news media for some time now, I want to find out from you. So this HRM system, how problematic was it, especially for graduate teachers?
That was the strike for graduate teachers.
No, the HRS system, the major cause for you embarking on this strike action. What was really the major challenge with it that teachers thought like, indeed, enough is enough. We can't go on with this system again.
Okay. Initially, GES was manning all these issues that we raised. And at least the system was slow, but it was a bit okay. But with the inception of this HRMIS, things have become a standstill because now GES have no hand in transfers. They have no hand in all those issues that we raised earlier on.
Well, so you trust that everything extends to every region of the country with the exception of the Volta region.
Medical doctors and dentists still occupy a hallowed place in our lives. The title doctor instinctively evokes respect and unquestioning trust. We seem prepared to take chances with other aspects of our lives, but not with doctors. We entrust our expensive cars into the hands of mechanics and fitters, some of doubtful qualification. We're willing to cut corners when it comes to building a house, the single biggest investment we're ever likely to make in our lives. We engage some masons, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, and construction workers with questionable credentials. When it comes to medical doctors and dentists, we want to be certain that they are well-trained and have authentic qualifications. We do not knowingly take chances with medical doctors of doubtful qualifications. This is not surprising. Good health is fundamental to all we do and hope to do. I encourage you, our newly inducted practitioners, to follow the exemplary example of Dr. Evans Amfo and accept postings to accredited regional and district hospitals where your services are needed most, particularly during your second year of housemanship. I do not put all the blame on our medical doctors' unwillingness to work in these communities. If we have a good road network and good schools are available around the country and not only in the urban centers, if we have electricity supply in all communities, we will not have to be asking, indeed insisting, that our young doctors go to work in the rural communities.
We'll take other stories at this moment and hear food vendors' compliance with regulations continue to be a major worry for many. Well, vendors have complained that inspection by authorities has not been as expected, thus giving room for non-compliance. However, the Director of Public Health of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, that's Florence Kuchi, has explained that her outfit is making efforts to ensure compliance and has already prosecuted some 200 food vendors for non-compliance.
The Constitution of Ghana provides Ghanaians the right to health and safety. This right is protected through the regulatory work of state institutions such as the Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, and the Public Health Department. Sections 52 of the Public Health Act, Act 851 of 2012, indicates that it's an offense for a person to sell, prepare, package, store or display for sale food under unsanitary conditions to the public. However, some food vendors can be seen selling around gutters and some other unhealthy environmental conditions. According to the regulations of the Public Health Department, food vendors are to go through an annual health screening at a cost of 40 Ghana cedis and be issued certification before they can sell to the public.
When we talk of food vending and screening, it is a way that anybody who prepares food for public consumption, that the food is not only used for the family. When you send it out and you are displaying it for sale, the rule says that you should undergo medical screening. And some of these rules, we have the Public Health Act, and then we have the AMA bylaws too, that is saying that you must undergo medical screening before you display for food for sale.
The Director of Public Health, Florence Kuchi, has indicated that the AMA has screened close to 3,000 food vendors from January to August of this year alone. Food vendors are to make photocopies of the first page of the certification document and display at their vending point. However, a visit to various vending points within the city showed that even food vendors with the certification fail to display them, but rather keep them in their bags. Vendors have complained that inspection by public health officers or task force has not been frequent and as such has given room to some of the members not to comply with the regulations.
First, Nanka Food and Drug Board for bar around. Ebe check say, oh, does spin. And almost I'm be say, on some crowd it and or fingernails and air shots, SIA needs. By this time round, or mumma, me who said in walk room. And a baby, I may ton Adriano, Adriani be bemia, the one moyano no enya fine. Omuja nuani sia bonten, Emma deche, Omo baby swa, Omo can shake no masaton.
The Public Health Director, Florence Kuchi, mentioned that her outfit has strategized to ensure regular inspection of food vendors and indicated that inspection by health officers has led to the prosecution of about 200 food vendors, but added that the challenge has to do with supervising food vendors who sell at night.
There are a lot of challenges, and most of these challenges are a lot of food vendors vend their food during the night. And as a public health officer, the law that mandates us to do entry and inspection is the Cap 86 Town Ordinance, and says that we can have the right to enter into a premise from the hours of 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. So if we want to do an extra, then it has to be we are going to form a task force.
The director explained that the AMA is working on establishing a night task force to address this challenge. She advised food vendors to make hygiene and compliance to regulations a priority, since most people have their day-to-day feeding on the streets.
Well, this is News Tonight, and my name is Kweku Timi. Let's now talk about decentralization at the local governance level. And here, some local government service has recruited some 2,290 staff in order to enhance the work of the service. Well, the staff are to be posted to the various MMDAs across the country to ensure that staff shortfalls at these assemblies are met. Head of the local governance service, Nana Tuatha, made the observation at a news conference to shed more light on the decentralization at local government in Ghana.
We just finished recruiting 2,290 staff. We just finished. In fact, last week was when we started the postings. Normally after recruitment, having given them the appointment letters, they go for medicals. They count medical report. They fit to work in the service before we start with the postings. Because there are very many, what we have done is that if you chose to be in Central Region, we put all of them together. These are HRM, these are procurement, these are IT, this whatever class. We send all to Regional Coaching Council in Central Region for Regional Coaching Council to place them within the various assemblies in the region. That is where we are now.
Let's still stay with the public service now. Article 284 of the Constitution bars every public officer from putting himself or herself in a position where his or her personal interest conflicts or is likely to conflict with the performance of the functions of his or her office. Well, in light of this constitutional provision, head of the local governance service, Nana Tuatha, has asserted that he has never engaged in any form of overt or covert political activity since he assumed his office. Nana Tuatha, who has served in various capacities under the Kufuor administration and now serving under the Kufuor-led government, made the disclosure at a press briefing here in Accra.
Tuatha has been known having served in various positions. I was a district chief executive. President Kufuor appointed me. I became Deputy Central Regional Minister. President Kufuor appointed me. I became Regional Minister. President Kufuor appointed me. I became Member of Parliament dedicated for MPP. Most of the time, you see me on Bedroom or other areas, MPP and DC matter. The last 2.5 years, being a head of service, I cannot overtly be seen that you are championing a political party cause. So you're all media houses sitting here. Which media house has hosted me talking against any other political party actor? It has never happened.
All right, so all that Nana Tuatha probably is trying to say is that if you are in the civil service, you basically cannot do open politics. So we'll take a break at this time. When we come back, we absolutely have some more news for you. You would just want to be with us because the best is yet to come.
Jumia brings you Jumia Mall. Shop from over 30 official brand stores. Grab your hot new phones, TVs, home appliances, and your beauty products. We deliver to you anywhere in Ghana. Pay cash on delivery. Enjoy 15 days free return policy and warranty on all Jumia Mall products. Download the Jumia app and start shopping today. Jumia Mall, home of your favorite brands.
Shady aroma to me.
Roma insecticide spray and mosquito fell. And I told master, a baby to one amount. She's so mad. Roma insecticide spray at that Roma. Interfere, Entatia, make a cheha. No way! Shemikunu, and Tonton Bako Crown Panamo, and also a Pussy. Roma insecticide spray and mosquito coil. And out there we a show. Roma,
Roma and Tonton Master.
UB Hair Relaxer. Uncomplicate your hair.
Akwesi?
Yes, Dad. When and where will we buy all the things I need for school?
Akwesi, that's why I called you here. Throughout the week, your mom will be going to Makola to get your items gradually. I, on the other hand, will see to it that your khaki and your white shirt will be sewn. Come in.
Have you finished buying all your school items?
How? I haven't.
Wow. I just finished buying everything on my prospectus from a shop called Prospectus Ghana. Their things are very affordable, and in 10 minutes, I was done.
Tell me more.
Guess what? Credit is available for workers from both the formal and informal sectors. And for busy parents like you, you can even order from the comfort of your homes because delivery service is available. They have everything. Ghana now has the first one-stop shop to get all your school items.
Wow, then I really have to go to Prospectus Ghana right away.
Prospectus Ghana, no market stress, yeah.
If it's about school prospectus, then Prospectus Ghana is the place to shop.
You're welcome back. Many thanks for staying with us. The program is still news tonight. Let's take some more local stories. Now, 27-year-old English student of the University of Ghana, Ekwiasewa Mankwa, has won the 2019 World Readers Inspire Us Writing Contest. Her story, being Adobia Swatson, which won her a cash prize of some $2,000 was selected as the best out of 129 entries received from various West African authors.
The World Readers Inspire Us project seeks to advancing West African authors to writing stories that affect women and providing positive literary role models. The stories also offers mixed gender book clubs, a chance to interrogate violence against women, family planning, and women's autonomy issues within the safe space of fiction.
Working towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goal 5 on gender equality. Our little contribution in World Reader is to use literature, stories, books. We know most of the texts really would project the role that men play in our communities. If you look at it, there's a little bit of a gap in the literature when you look at the books that project women and the contribution they make, and then that of men. And so the goal of Inspire Us is to collect stories from authors and publishers, but stories that really reflect women as active agents within the community.
In an interview, the former second lady and board chair of World Reader.
Let's now deal with some security matters, and here the Ghana Armed Forces has officially launched the Ghana Army Week celebrations. Well, the week celebrations held at the LWAC Stadium under the theme Ghana Army, providing security for national development, is aimed at reassuring Ghanaians of the core mandate of the Army, as it also seeks to highlight the Army's achievements over the years. My colleague Lantam Papanko has more in the following report.
The ceremonial event held at the LWAC Sports Stadium began with a march in the early hours of Friday morning through the Kwame Nkrumah Interchange, Sankara, the Jubilee House, and back to the LWAC Stadium. A host of personnel from high-ranking security institutions such as the Ghana Navy, the Ghana Air Force, the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana Immigration Service, the Ghana Prison Service, and the Ghana National Fire Service joined the march in the spirit of solidarity. The Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Obed Akwa, addressing the gallant officers, eulogized the troops for exhibiting such high forms of resilience as well as a successful march.
I want to recommend to the Chief of Army Staff that we do a second round. It has been very, very successful, and we want to congratulate the Army for this initiative and to wish all of us very well this week and to ask for maximum participation from everybody.
However, the Chief of Army Staff, Major General William Ayamdo, admonished that the Ghana Army has lived up to the demanding task. He further indulged the officers to use the event to reflect on their commitment.
On behalf of the Ghana Army, I thank all heads of security services and their personnel who are here this morning to support our cause. We are indeed honored for your presence. Since the establishment of the Ghana Army, we have remained focused on the strategic reason for our existence. In partnership with our sister security services, we have played our role to ensure internal security and continue to undertake regional and global peacekeeping missions in furtherance to Ghana's foreign policy considerations.
Speaking to the media, the chairman of the planning committee of the Ghana Army Week celebrations, Brigadier General Robert Yao Afram, expressed satisfaction with the turn of events.
He was energetic. There was a lot of camaraderie, and I think cohesion and esprit de corps was exhibited, especially having invited the sister security services to be part of this auspicious occasion. It will test our endurance. It will also signal to the general public that we are there ready to support them anytime. And then it also fosters friendship and connects us to the general public, because when they see us, then they know that we are around.
The Ghana Army Week celebration is an annual event organized by the Ghana Army to boost the morale and further reinforce team building among personnel. This year's celebration is under the theme, the Ghana Army, providing security for national development. The week-long celebration will commence from the 20th of September 2019 to the 29th of September 2019, with activities such as a wreath-laying ceremony, a symposium, a military tattoo where some military set drills will be rehearsed, a march and shoot exercise, a cleanup exercise, a tree planting exercise, and finally a general parade which will culminate into a non-denominational religious parade.
It's always a delight to see the military in all their best of activities. Well, just to let you know that GH1 TV and the EIB network, for that matter, signed a contract to be part of this Ghana Army Week. We'll be bringing you more highlights of all their activities. Let's do other stories at this moment. Project coordinator for the construction of the AstroTurf at Medina, Alex Ejabim-Boateng, has disputed claims that the constructed pitch is not up to standard for commercial purposes. Well, government, as part of plans to promote sports development, has started the construction of artificial football pitches in various constituencies in the country. But there are concerns about the quality of the AstroTurf. Well, this report, the AstroTurf project coordinator told my colleague Kwekwedu Amoansa how the constructed football pitches has been certified by FIFA, thereby making it standardized.
President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, in his 2018 State of the Nation address, reiterated his government's commitment to sports development, revealing that a number of football pitches are under construction across the country. He said each constituency will have an AstroTurf, and this will help produce the next generation of football stars. The Medina AstroTurf, which is one of the many pitches to be completed, is near completion. On Thursday, some residents raised concerns about the Medina pitch. They claimed the football pitch was too small to be used professionally, a reason for the agitation. They indicated
akolabo abra mpinifo so I was say yenhwe obiara de boom
yeah park we about 10 players also and honum 7 aside 7 players nti enso when I play as a player so footballers no as in a doors and I park no man 7 players and so about 14 players I see and about 22 and 22.
Residents also raised concerns about they having to pay before accessing the facility, a situation they believe should be reconsidered.
I see the imagine say you be to ask because park na kasombe omka say ombe within 3 months about 2 years or years so sometimes catch say how to ask say abo so ti omo see omo sisi
so omo see ye wia ya make ya nye like ya omo de be share abansim na yetua ansana ya hwe and hanum so imagine say obi be yin sika because of boa onya profit also.
In his response, the project coordinator, Alex Ajeni Boaten, debunked the claims, noting that the pitches were up to international standards and had been certified by FIFA.
We have here at Medina is a standard football pitch for 11 aside. It is not a 7 aside pitch. The size of the pitch from end to end is 96 meters by 62.5, which falls within the FIFA range for standard pitches. FIFA has brought inspectors here to come and test and give us a certificate for this pitch. They've given us an initial certificate. The final one will be in within the next 2 weeks.
The Medina AstroTurf football field is expected to be completed by next month. The multi-purpose facility has a 5-a-side field for children, a tennis court, volleyball court, basketball court, washroom facility, among others. For GH1 News, Kweku Adiama Ansa.
In other stories tonight, following the United Nations International South-South Cooperation Day marked annually on September 12 to celebrate the exchange of knowledge, technology and resources between developing countries, there's a news desk report, a look at some of the cooperation between Ghana and Nigeria.
Ghana and Nigeria for some time have been known to be allies, but the story has not always been this way. Though the two countries initially had no common language, colonization introduced the English language to them. Reports of the first official cooperation can be traced back to when the Nigerian Hausa tribe joined forces with the British and the southern states of Gold Coast to conquer the Ashanti Kingdom. This would result in the Hausa community becoming a prominent one in Ghana, making the Hausa language one of the most spoken in Ghana. In much recent times, Ghana and Nigeria have formed an amicable relationship, resulting in intermarriages among citizens. Business collaborations by both countries have employed a number of people. Popular words found in common Ghanaian conversation like susu boxes, wahala and gari are among the litany of slangs borrowed from Nigeria. Although the two countries have had good times, it is noteworthy to remember the Ghana Must Go bags, which originated from the mass deportation of Ghanaian migrants without proper documentation in 1983 by President Shehu Shagari, an action taken in retaliation to the 1969 expulsion of Nigerians from a crashing Ghanaian economy. In spite of no apologies rendered by either country, Ghana and Nigeria have charged their energies toward the ownership of the delicacy jollof rice. The regard given to jollof rice has gained the attention of the international community, including Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, CNN's Richard Quest, and musician Ed Sheeran. Lest I forget, who won the jollof war?
Ghana jollof, yummy Nigerian jollof, yeah, it is funny, Sister Derby, but today.
Undisputed Ghana jollof all the way. Let's talk about water now. The Coalition of Community Water Services, COCOWAS, has raised red flags over government's decision to transform the Community Water and Sanitation Agency from its current mandate of a facilitator or regulator into a public utility service organization. Now, COCOWAS believes that the rural water sector has come a long way in injecting both external and internal technical and financial resources in providing proper services to various communities, hence shouldn't be handed such a deal.
At the 2019 annual review conference with focus on the majority policy reform, the Chief Executive Officer of the Community Water and Sanitation Agency noted the amendment of the Community Water and Sanitation Agency Act 1998, Act 564, to transform the CWSA into a utility service organization. This amendment didn't go down well with COCOWAS, as they believe the rural water sector have been financially and technically supporting in providing water services to the various communities. With a supervisory and technical role to be exercised by the Community Water and Sanitation Agency, the Executive Director of COCOWAS, John Nedgo, believes it didn't exercise their mandate.
You can clearly see that the scope of the current reforms is interestingly very narrow, covering the following. And this is the reform. Recruit graduates of tertiary institutions and use them to replace existing operational staff who are residents of the communities and had been engaged by the communities. That's number one. Number two, take over the piped water supply systems from communities and manage them centrally as a public utility. 2. 3, send proceeds from the sale of water in the communities to CWSA's bank accounts at the regions and head office. 3, how can a sector which took 24 years to nurture, how can this be reformed?
COCOWAS couldn't hide its frustration, noting the various communities have manned their own affairs of ensuring quality community water supply. Another worry of COCOWAS is the exemption of sanitation works from the newly provided reforms.
Community water is a CWSA. The word CWSA is Community Water and Sanitation Agency. Now, we realize that at the sanitation aspect of CWSA, those ones have been left to the communities. They have community-led total sanitation, right? And that is being done by the community. It's being led by the community. So if you want to take over a community water and sanitation issues from the community, why don't you take over, the sanitation aspect as well?
COCOWAS thinks the direction CWSA is going obviously carries some risk to rural piped water services, as the mobilized funds through the sale of water will be used on operational expenditure of CWSA. Also, the reform will take a longer time to repair and maintain broken down water facilities due to the bureaucratic bottlenecks.
Away from water, let's discuss agriculture at this moment. And here, the Ghana Agricultural Producers and Marketing Association, AGRIC, is advocating the passage of the proposed cooperative bill to facilitate the development of viable agricultural cooperative societies in the country. Well, General Manager of AGRIC, Victor Achu Alobu, said the move is to help revamp the agric sector.
The group says it has observed happenings in the agric sector and wants government to give the agricultural cooperative in the cereals, grains, vegetables, fruits, trees, fish and meat sector the necessary priority. The group also wants the cooperative zones in the agricultural food chain to be recognized and supported. AGRIC is advocating the passage of a bill to help address the above issues.
And issues regarding the Irrigation Water Users Association. That is, there is no clear definition of that policy as a result of the formation of the Water Users Association, which we believe it is against our values and principles. And also, agriculture cooperatives are not too strong at the grassroots, which is also as a result of inadequate education.
Some of the issues AGRIC thinks the passage of the bill will help minimize, if not totally solved, will include the clear operations of Water Users Association, how to strengthen agricultural cooperative societies in Ghana, and also ensure partnership and collaboration between the regional, municipal and district officers of the Department of Cooperatives.
Because we are not strong at the grassroots, we cannot generate enough funds to support the apex body, that is the Cooperative Council, to carry out its mandate.
Talk about the registration, the size of the registered society. 70% constitute to the AGRIC, but as we speak, we don't have a formidable and a viable AGRIC society. So I believe after this place, we will work together in hand in hand to strengthen the AGRIC sector by getting a very strong apex body as the AgriCorp.
Currently, the agricultural cooperatives in Ghana forms about 70% of the total cooperative sector, which has the potential to generate employment for millions and also supply food and raw materials for both export and domestic consumption. However, most of these registered agricultural cooperative societies over the years are in the state of dormancy, which has been aggravated by low productivity.
So you're live on News Tonight. My name is Kweku Timin. I'll now take you to the Eastern region. Not too much of a good news coming through. Now, a joint rescue team of the National Disaster Management Organization, that's NADMO, and the Ghana National Fire Services rescued dozens of residents trapped in floods that nearly submerged many houses in the area after hours of rainfall at Achim-Odan in the Eastern region. Well, parts of the Eastern region have been experiencing moderate and erratic rainfall for the past 4 days, resulting in flash floods in many of the communities.
According to NADMO officials at Achim-Odan, in the Birim Central Municipality in the Eastern region, many areas such as PWD Camp, Morning Star, Liberty, Estate and Old Town were inundated by the floods, which affected human activity in the area and threatened lives of trapped residents. The rescue operation by the team helped save lives of dozens of family members, including children and the aged, who were trapped in the floodwaters. Properties worth thousands of cedis have been destroyed after being submerged in the floods. Officials of NADMO are, however, embarking on operational assessments of the properties destroyed and persons displaced. The Ghana Meteorological Agency has been observing thunder and rain-bearing clouds over the Middle Belt, drifting to other parts, producing rain and thunder in many parts of the country. The Eastern Regional Director of the National Disaster Management Organization, Kwame Appiah-Kodua, said the organization has inaugurated and activated its district disaster management committees across the region and is therefore hopeful the situation will be contained to avert fatality.
It's now time for us to talk politics, and here the largest opposition, National Democratic Congress, is accusing the Electoral Commission of deliberate attempts to disenfranchise many Ghanaians from voting in the 2020 general elections. Well, at a press briefing addressed by the party's Director of Elections, Elvis Afriye Ankra, he claims that reports available to them show that so many people cannot find their names in the voter album. The NDC contends the EC is bent on favoring the incumbent NPP government. The opposition wants the EC to provide the previous register alongside the new one to avert any misunderstandings.
Reports from Ponkatamaso, for instance, indicate that most of the old and newly registered voters cannot find their names when they visited the centers where they have constantly voted in the past. In the OT region, the exercise could not commence in several centers as scheduled by the EC timetable. It could not happen in Nkwanta North, Nkwanta South, Kratchi in Chumuru, and Kratchi East. The EC officials assigned to these constituencies attributed these developments to the late arrival of their materials. In the Western North region, the situation is even worse. In the Suaman constituency, at Carlo DC Primary School, only 3 newly registered voters were captured out of 128. At Carlo DC Primary B, only 3 newly registered voters were recorded out of 49. And at Carlo DC JHSA, only 1 registered voter's name appeared out of 35.
Per the law, all registered and accepted political parties in the country are to receive a copy of the voters' register during the exhibition exercise, but this law, they say, have been flouted by the EC. The alleged even national security operatives have copies of the register.
The EC has not provided the NDC with a copy of the 2019 provisional register as required by law. We make reference to Section 22(2) of the Public Elections Regulations Voter Registration CI 91. This simple act, as mandated by law, remains unfulfilled by the EC. We've written several letters. This is the third letter to the EC asking for a copy of the register. We have information that the National Security Operative was given a soft copy of the register.
The NDC also claimed the printing of the register was carried out by an external entity, which they believe is wrong.
For the first time, the printing of the registers is being done by an external entity, by back press. All over the years, it is the EC staff. If you go to the EC, they have an elaborate system for printing. All the register we've ever had is done inside the EC because it's a security document.
The exhibition of the voters' register is to provide voters the opportunity to verify their details and clear ghost names from the register. The exercise, which started on the 10th of September, will end on the 17th of this month.
It's my favorite part where I say Cocoa Sikana Ba. When we come back, we'll talk more about the cocoa syndicated loan in business.
Business Brief is brought to you by Everywhere You Go, MTN. And Star Assurance, your solid partner.
After your home is burgled, who would you be? The Mr. Iradimewo? Or the Mr. Obinsomiwo? Or the Mr. I've got Star. Star Home Policy makes all the difference when burglary happens. Live. Let Star take care of it. Sign up to Star Comprehensive Homeowners Insurance today. Star Assurance, your solid partner.
If I don't see this wedding with my own eyeballs, dear, it's not me.
Church right.
I just go into the church. Okay, let me connect my earpiece.
Now you may. Remember.
Who stop meets by their sharing here. For salam. Buffet, papa.
Enjoy even more value with MTN Free After One. You only pay for the first minute of your call on MTN Free After One, and the rest is free. Plus, you enjoy free 50 megabytes worth of data to browse your favorite sites. Umpe where? Umpe deng. Dial *315# to sign up now.
We day for you everywhere you go.
Some updates on cocoa, and here Cocoa Board has signed a $1.3 billion cocoa syndicated loan deal in Paris to support the purchase of cocoa beans within the 2019-2020 crop season. Well, Cocoa Board secured parliamentary approval to borrow up to $1.5 billion to aid cocoa purchases, but settled on the $1.3 billion. Management of Cocoa Board say the board has already secured the extra $200 million from other banks in Europe.
The first tranche of the funds is likely to hit the Bank of Ghana's accounts in the first week of October. Cocoa Board plans to use the funds to finance the purchases of 950,000 tons of cocoa beans. One of the immediate impacts the deal will have on the economy is that it will improve Bank of Ghana's reserves, a situation that could give investors and currency traders some assurance about the central bank's ability to defend the local currency.
we do periodic sort of field forecast. We have realized that we have few issues in the field. So after the revision, we have now looked at it and we are targeting 800,000 metric tons.
All we're looking for is that the farmer will be able to increase his or her production, so that we can make a lot of progress in the industry.
The payment to the farmers and licensed buying companies will improve liquidity in the banking system. The inflows of these funds will also help stabilize the city. In the last quarter of this year, 5 of the financial institutions expected to lead the deal are Robobank, SG Bank, MUFG, NEB Bank and NetAxis.
Participating banks should see themselves, therefore, as making a contribution towards improving the economy and thereby supporting the government in its developmental efforts. In the last couple of years, it has become a tradition for the consortium of banks in the syndication to donate gifts to our hard-working farmers in the form of projects to improve the livelihoods of leading cocoa farming communities.
According to documents submitted to Parliament, this is how the 5.49 billion Ghana cedis borrowed last year was utilized. 1.9 billion Ghana cedis was used as seed funds to the licensed buying companies for cocoa purchases, while 2.8 billion Ghana cedis will also be paid to the licensed buying companies as cocoa deliverables. Inputs and high-tech expenses will amount to 395 million Ghana cedis and operational expenses at 822 million Ghana cedis, bringing the total cost to 5.4 billion Ghana cedis. The 2019-2020 syndicated loan will be drawn down in 3 tranches. First will be 50% of the $1.3 billion, which will translate to about $650 million, with an additional $450 million to be made in November.
All right, so definitely when these funds hit the central bank coffers, you are rest assured that it could stabilize the local currency a little bit, but that wouldn't be the only indicator that could salvage the local currency. Well, some information from the central bank, the Bank of Ghana, has pegged the minimum capital required for operating a mobile money company at 20 million Ghana cedis. Well, the latest directives comes on the back of the recently passed Payment Systems and Services Act 2019. Act 987, which provides a legal and regulatory framework for the orderly development of the country's payment system. Well, the central bank is, in a notice issued on yesterday, divided the payment system providers into 5 categories and provided corresponding capital requirements needed for players to operate within each category. Well, according to the notice, electronic money issuers, EMI, like mobile money companies, are required to have a minimum capital of some 20 million Ghana cedis. Under this license, EMIs are permitted to issue electronic money recruitment and management of agents, creation and management of wallets. Well, they can also handle wallet-based domestic money transfers, including transfers to and from bank accounts, cash in and cash out transactions, investments, savings, credit products, only in partnership with banks, etc. Well, those are some updates from the business front. We'll be back with some more after this break.
Business Brief is brought to you by Everywhere You Go, MTN. And Star Assurance, your solid partner.
Look sharp. Wow, my uniform looks different. From my head to my toe. You're the best grandpa ever.
Feco Spray Starch, Majimo Point.
Hi, Pops.
Cratchy, pause. Aberdeenton Wogumen Massidem. When you want to remember Namunto the morning. Afi ni spray starch, Papa. On ja particles be or water or dos warm on your water and Sufi. No wrinkles, smooth iron.
Yes, Papa. Feco Spray Starch. Me here perfume.
Point 2.
As a yes, guy. Feco Spray Starch.
Look sharp.
Feco Spray Starch. Look sharp, look sharp.
Omanfue Electoral Commission Omanfue Yinanka Yese Efiri Ebrada 10 September Kopim Ebrada 17 September 2019 Voters Register Exhibition no Baso Efiri Anopondo so Kopim Numere no Sia Obi a wotwere wodin ewa bato de ntwere homa ne mu Efiri 2012 Kopim 2019 no Esese wo awoko wo polling station eye baabi a woto waba no na wokohwe se wodin ene wo nsem nyina ewo abato de ntwere homa ne mu no eye sa pepepe ana wo kwa for voters ID card ko se na beboa ma wodin hwehwe no ayentem sempo wajira wo ID card no a ubetumi akohwe se wodin ewo homa ne mu ana ko polling station na yenso wo hawo nyina ano emma mo me ensiesie voters register ne mu abra jeyi abusuafo ewo nyina din afiri homa ne mu se wo ba for burial death ana obituary krata no bra eno beboa ma yatumi ahwe so ede yi ewufo nyina din afiri abato homa ne mu mo ye nyina mo ma abato homa no enimu se ne ebema abato no mu ada ho fan voters register exhibition e shase afi ebrada 10 September kopem ebrada 17 September 2019 efira no pono nson kopem anwumre no nsia da biarada
Jumia brings you Jumia Mall. Shop from over 30 official brand stores. Grab your hot new phones, TVs, home appliances, and your beauty products. We deliver to you anywhere in Ghana. Pay cash on delivery. Enjoy 15 days free return policy and warranty on all Jumia Mall products. Download the Jumia app and start shopping today. Jumia Mall, home of your favorite brands.
All right, so thank you very much for staying with us throughout the 1 hour bulletin. Well, enjoy the greater part of your weekend. We will still be bringing you some more stories. Until then, just enjoy the rest of your weekend.